Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War 2 with this French campaign. So, in earlier episodes, I said that I was putting the final nail in the coffin. Well, this episode, I'm hoping that we'll actually put the final nail in the coffin of at least the British holdings in the 13 colonies. However, as we can see, Cornwallis have been managed to... Well, he's not actually Cornwallis. Grimstone has been able to sneak away from no other place than Yorktown. I actually named an earlier episode to Yorktown, and it wasn't really until afterwards I'd sort of played it that I realized it kind of was Yorktown. In the way that we sort of trapped the British here, and we took out the navy that couldn't come in and aid them, and so they were trapped, and, well, we attacked and destroyed them. They didn't really... There was no Yorktown surrender. Still called the episode Yorktown. Would be maybe cooler if it happened here, but unfortunately for me, this navy is quite a bit stronger than mine. Now, to starters, they got 3... galleons of war, which I do. Then I've got, you know, my 6th rang and the brig. The enemy they've got a brig, so that is pretty close. But then they got 3rd rate, 6th rate, 5th rate fire ship, but most importantly, they got a 2nd rate ship of the line, the Fame, at 313 firepower and 8,000 hull strength. Compare that to my biggest one. That's a, you know, 1/3 more, 30% more firepower, and, you know, I don't know how much hull strength. So that's a massive ship, and, you know, that's just the bit. That's not, you know, that's not the bit that's sort of comparable. That's, you know, beyond, because they already have a match for all my ships. So yeah, we're not going to be able to stop these, but I'll conserve my navy so that we hopefully can follow them wherever they're going. Currently, they're making their way, God knows where. They seem to be constantly going after this, so it might be that they're trying to go there again, which would be useful because then I know where they're going. Anyways. Let's take our force, march to Williamsburg, and take out this force. It's still quite a sizable force at almost 3,000 men against my almost 5,000. And yeah, well, there's not much to say, is there? We want to keep this going, and I'm kind of stoked that we'll finally be able to sort of end hostilities in this theater, so I can kind of move more of my resources back to Europe to open up my ports, so I can get more money. And once I get more money, you know, we can sort of, you know, continue to build. What I'm actually thinking here is that once I've been able to secure the 13 colonies, we'll try to make a peace deal with Great Britain. Because they've lost so much land, I'm hoping they'll agree to it, and then they will release quite a bit of my ports. I'll get more money. More money means that you know, I can get some more navy. Hopefully we can get peace with the Irish, so that opens up even more trade routes for me. I'll get a navy to actually be able to hold my ports open and so on. And you can see how you continue to roll upwards for it, you know. But before any of that, we'll have to play this bloody battle. So, without further ado, let's conquer Virginia. The enemy has allowed us this wonderful hill overlooking Williamsburg. And, I mean, I couldn't ask for a better artillery position, could I? Complete control of their field. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and start the battle now. Okay, so they've got their stupid little battery. And their troops running around like ants. First fire missed everything. Not a promising start, but I've got plenty of time to sit on my little hill and fire down on our opponents. We're gonna go ahead and draw a line like this. And then we're gonna have a reserve line follow up right behind. We're gonna have the boys. And then the colonial militia. And pikemen in the rear. I've got my lancers over here. I think we're gonna sport 2 lances next here to the cannons. And then 2 over here. That's at the very end of the map. Oh, we've got a second bombardment coming in. We took out a cannon. We took a few troops. We bounced in, took out a few more cavalry. I was hoping we'd take out more cavalry. Looks like they're setting up their cavalry to get absolutely destroyed by our second shot. We got our planes scouts. It's going to be moving in towards the flank here. Have a tendency to shoot each other, so we'll try and avoid that as much as possible. My general should probably not be standing that close to our cannons, as the enemy cannons are sure to respond. And I don't want my general shot, although it looks like their cannons might not reach as far. They seem to be firing right over here. Right, our troops getting in position. You know what, let's run them. Let's run them into position. Let's run everyone into position. There's no time to wait. We're so close to victory in North America. So we're gonna get this going. Oh, we have lost a few Irish there. Then I kind of realized that, you know, we aren't putting our own troops on the front line. There's no, like, French troops here, are they? It's either natives or Irish. Are they moving towards us, or are they just setting a new line? So my troops are set up. Ooh, we've got, if I move, a great speed. Then this dragoon unit might just find itself on the receiving end on a load of arrows. I think we just shot, yeah, we shot tons of our own there because I forgot to run one of the units. Are we getting fired upon by these? Yeah, I think so. I forgot to run one of the units, so he shot the other one in the back. Okay, fired into that. I'm not sure my scouts will do too well over there. Right, let's get the boys off to the very side. The thing is, at the same time, I just now, before recording in this episode, answered a question on someone saying, do you get that many friendly fires when you know, sort of play by yourself? And the answer is no. No, I don't. And the reason, I think I've gone into this before, is I try to, well, I try purposefully to try and make it look good in the terms that I try to move the troops in sort of what, at least what I would think, sort of historical formations. And I also try the same way where I don't, like, you know, where the micromanagement isn't, like, you know, super polished. You shouldn't, like, I think I said it before, like, you shouldn't watch me, my playthroughs to, you know, get the best kind of sort of how to play the meta of the game. Instead, I'm trying to be more sort of role play and sort of for the good looks as it is, more than the great plays. Let's see. Even though I kind of failed here, we still won the battle. Or the skirmish. Kind of got a perfect target here. I'm gonna move these guys away. And then we're gonna launch our lancers. I'm gonna come through the opening. And in typical Empire fashion, they've already killed a few troops even before they contact with them. We're gonna try and avoid a bit of friendly fire just because someone's pointed it out. So let's not fire into our own troops. Ooh, Great Plains Warriors. They're looking for a melee fight, which we don't want. Okay, they're gonna disrupt my line so much. Yeah, look at that. Even with me just ordering attack, their troops fall. Right. Fired well. I ordered my cannons to fire down on these. I don't know if that's particularly good right now. Fire on this provincial regiment instead. And then the colonial militia will actually pull back to try and drag that one closer to our lines. And then you can come a little bit closer. And I'm surprised I have so many lancers left. Right, lancers, go after the retreating troops. And kind of leave it up to the firing lines. We've lost quite a lot of men on the front line. I'm surprised this one still stands with how many troops it's lost. We have 2 more lancers. Once the cannons fire, once all the cannons have fired, I thought they would all fire in a volley. Okay, we're waiting for 1 more cannon to fire. Then I'm gonna move the lancers over to this side. My lancers just keep... I don't know how they manage to survive for as long as they have and just run around and kill everything. My lancers are setting up, so they'll be able to sweep in from this side and take care of the enemy over here. Alright, maybe you can fire away at some troops over here. We haven't done much damage here. I'm thinking we're gonna go kind of like that and then hit them. Order them to hit so they sort of go in as a pincer on either side. Like this, and then now they'll turn in and hit the unit. Preferably they'd hit at the same time, but it looked like that attack coming from downhill did a lot of damage on that unit. Now these lancers have actually lost quite a bit of troops. Time to pull back. Not entirely sure if you can hear that, but upstairs neighbor are doing some renovation. First line has lost quite a few troops. We're gonna order forward second line. Great Plains Warriors though. I don't like the look of that. And also you should hold fire now. First line should hold fire. Not to shoot up second line. More than necessary. More than I need them to be shot up for encouragement. Because that's how it works. Right, we're gonna get rid of these troops. Kind of thrown into that. I thought I threw both of them in. But I just threw the weaker of the 2 units in. Right, let's get that guy away. The thing is, the guy guy upstairs, I don't know what he's been drilling, because it seems like he's been drilling for ages. Like, every now and again, he just starts drilling. Like, maybe it's a hobby to drill. Not entirely sure what kind of home improvement he's doing. But it seems to never be done. Bouncing shots through. Doing quite a bit of damage over here. I think we break it up a little bit. Run through, hit this one. Also at the same time we'll tell the cannon to hold fire. We'll have the second line. Close in a little bit. And at the same time have the pikes move in. We don't seem to be doing all that much damage at range, are we? Oh, I apparently didn't tell you to fire it well. Let's see about hitting that with the lancers. And then we can get you through and hit you with the... Right, lancers, attack, attack. We're gonna not go after this one at all, and we're gonna just focus in on the ones that are left. And I think that will break just for the sake that everyone else is broken. And there we have it. Still quite heavy losses on our side, but not comparable to the enemy. Oh yeah, there's actually quite a lot of troops. I wonder how many I accidentally shot as I moved the lines through each other. There's also the added fact of having a second line like that, that obviously the shots that miss the first line get a second chance once they go to the back line. And in this case even to the third line, because the pikemen managed to lose 10 men while being 3 units deep. Hold your fire. And there's victory. We stand victorious in Williamsburg. Still managed to lose about 1,500 men, of which about 200 were friendly fire. So not as bad as other battles, but then again, it was quite easy to manage this battle We didn't have as much bow cavalry and so on. That usually does quite a bit of damage. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Highest kills, Great Plain Lancers. I used them a lot. They lost a lot, but they're quite powerful. Cannons come in at 5th place, and then more of the Great Plains Scouts. Irish Brigade come out first at what, 8th place, and then they basically go 1 for 1, where they lost 134 and killed 131. It would be interesting if you can actually somehow be able to tell where those friendly fires occurred, like what unit actually made them. Then I might not use them anymore. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tear this down, but not right now. But what I want to do as well is build a church school. Now the interesting bit to see is where these guys, Geoffrey Hood, where is he taking the army of Osbert Grimston? Where is Grimston gonna land his force? We need to follow quite soon. Given that I still have about 3,000 men, it should be enough to deal with his army. Probably would have done better if he'd kept everyone at Williamsburg rather than go chasing some wild dreams. Ideally, he would go for one of the big recruitment centers and take that back. But knowing the AI, I'm sure it's going to go for Fort Nashwauk again, because they've repeatedly gone against logic and been attacking that area. But yeah, as we can tell, there's no more moves to make, no other battlefields to be taken care of. So let's go ahead and end turn. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything, because Grimston it's almost like he's listening to me. He's going for one of the great centers, Philadelphia. There's not much I can do. I don't know what kind of damage I would be able to do on them. The thing is, if I play the battle myself, I might be able to focus in the damage on his cavalry, but I have a sneaking suspicion that Out-Resolve usually... What we've done before with Out-Resolves is that we've been able to do kind of 1 for 1. So I think that is better than to actually fight it. The thing is, we're gonna have to follow up as soon as possible. I need to get my force from Williamsburg to Philadelphia ASAP. Right, but first off, we want to out-resolve. Oh, 276. I possibly think we could have done better. I don't know what troops we killed. Probably kind of an even spread. Could have... I doubt... I'm kind of doubtful I would have done better. I probably would have ended up doing worse. Right. But now we know where we're going, anyways. The army at Philadelphia was destroyed. Pennsylvania lost. We built a church school in Louisiana. Right. We're gonna pick up the army as soon as possible. We're gonna go around. And we're gonna launch the army onto the ships. And we're gonna take the Navy back to New York. We're gonna have them go ashore, and I can actually march my army directly there and lay siege. So they've got 2,500 men. And they seem to have lost... Yeah, it's all over the place in terms of where the troops were lost. It's quite even, which I don't like. We're gonna have to do something about that. So I'm thinking we're gonna get some of these Great Plains Lancers. And then we're also going to get... Actually, I can't recruit anything else here. I was hoping maybe we could get some Irish... Let's go all Lancers. Lancers did really well in the last battle. 5 Lancers. We're gonna go Lance, 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 Lance. Very great. With that said, again, no moves, so let's go ahead and end turn. I should have figured as much. The British realize that the forces are even enough, and in a prolonged siege they're only gonna lose the longer they hold on. So, it's on to the fight. There's, what, 700 men advantage to us. Let's see how this plays out, shall we? The enemy lines started so far away from us to start off with. So it took them quite a while just to get into position. Holy shit. Well, this cavalry got slaughtered. Should give another target for the cannons then. Not a great start for the British. Not a great start for them at all. I don't have much of these. Oh, one of these were a Lancer unit. We might want to halt. We should still be fire at will. Let's see if we can't stop that one. And if those units going to fight it, then the second or the third will set up behind and fire into it. Right, the enemy, all the enemy cavalry has more or less been dealt with. We're firing into our own there, aren't we? Quite the risk. I'm thinking, let's see. Great Plains Warriors. That's a unit that I don't want my infantry have to tackle. Here's another one. Oh, all my cavalry of that side were beaten. They've brought in the general's bodyguard. I wonder, I imagine this one's going to charge us. So we're going to form a square already. Another Great Plains warrior that needs to be taken out before it reaches the lines. Cannon can actually continue to fire into that. I'm sure we'll bounce the shot. We might not actually need that. Let's see. This African militia is coming very close to the line. We're going to bring up the pikemen to deal with that. Cannon will now focus on the troops in the back. My lances are stuck in here, kind of just upsetting the order of things. Irregular settlers. Let's fire on the general. We're losing quite a bit of men. Let's see about... we have quite a few units that aren't really part of the battle, so let's quickly move some of the units in here to join in the fight. The Africans, are they winning the fight against the Irish? Not sure. Wait, oh, it almost looks like those cartoonish underpants with hearts on that the cartoon characters always had. So I was like, what? They don't have any pants? They do have pants. Just a little bit of different color. Great Plains Warriors charging the square. We'll hope it holds. Let's try to avoid that because that the general, because I'm targeting him with artillery. Now the Africans are getting defeated. No wonder though, as they're position themselves in a very bad way. But I think we need aid down here in terms of our lancers. The smallest Lancer unit, though, can go and chase some... Actually, you should not chase that. I think you can take down that one on your own. The square broke apart. I think I can order down my own general here. There is a risk, though. Try to avoid running into friendly fire. I kind of need to aid this unit. So let's hit that one with the 2 Lancers. Oh, you go after the cannons instead. Have you fired all your guns? This one's gonna fire at the enemy general. 2 good hits. 3rd shot over there. I'm gonna hold fire now. I'm gonna bring in my own general. We're gonna get the Lancers to go through that unit. Let's just order in the pikemen. They're just standing in the back, dying for nothing. We're gonna get our general to fire on the enemy general. Same time as the Lancers are hoping to break the enemy over here. Okay, here comes our general. Order him to fire at will. He's unsure what to shoot at. Tell me that they shot the enemy general. He's actually lined himself up perfectly for a cannon shot, hasn't he? Oh, it looks like the Lancers have done their job. So head out. Deal with all of this and the settlers. And then the generals will fight. Shooting at each other. Grimston, you bastard! Grimston and his bodyguard isn't doing too well, are they? Let's try to avoid any more friendly fire. A mass charge. Oh, with that mass charge, the entire enemy line breaks down, and we win the battle. Victory. And there we have it. Victory. We only lost about 1,000 men compared to the enemy, which lost their more or less entire force. In terms of, yes, they killed about 200 of their own. And we killed about 100 of our own. I guess because they were sallying forth, that means they still get to hold the town? Because they still have 231 men? Or does this mean that I take it? It is their end turn anyways. So let's have it roll through. It's an easy auto-resolve anyways, once it's my turn to play, as it were. Port blocked, no surprise. Letter of demand for Virginia. Strike in Virginia in recruitment report. This is completely unnecessary now, since the guy lives. I can demand surrender, but you know, he's only gonna run around burning stuff. They're not gonna put him on the boat and send him back home, so we're gonna auto-resolve. No unit was lost. And we have victory. And that means that all of the 13 colonies, besides Maryland, is mine. We might look to add the Mughal Empire's territory into our own. We should push away the British Navy, force that out to sea. We can build something good there instead, a trade port to be sure. Wonderful. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to try and build up this as much as possible. Make sure that we get a lot of cash. And see if we can't. You know what I said was, now when we got all of that, we should see about if they're gonna accept a white peace because they've lost so much territory. And they don't. I was hoping... what if I gave you technology? They don't have flintlock cannons. That's a great advantage. Actually, it's all military stuff that I don't want to give away. Especially to my worst enemy. Regions? I have nothing I want to give you. Money? You know what? Peace with them would actually be quite... Oh, yes! We got peace! There will be peace! For a while. Not in our time, but for a while there will be peace. And so that opens up my ports. And that gets me the trade from North America. So we went from 5,000 to 15,000. And I only had to pay the British 4,000 for that. Now the British are sure to declare war on me again pretty darn soon. But 15,000 per turn will give me a great boost. Now if I only can get peace with the Irish as well... How about this? Then your potatoes won't fail. No? Fuck you and your potatoes then, you piece of shit. This is the thing, like, it's so annoying that you can't, when you take over a place, like, you can't create a vassal in Empire. Because I like it when there's lots of different little nations, especially when you can sell them stuff. And you don't... I mean, the thing, it's kind of roleplay-ish. It's weird. It feels kind of weird to have, you know, France being complete control of Ireland. But then again, there's no, like, minus to holding Ireland or any other area, just because the cost of occupying, you know, foreign people, it doesn't really, there's no real, like, way, there's no the cost of occupying foreign people isn't really, you know, what's it called, shown in the game, or it's not like, it's not part of the game. It, you know, as long as you hold against, you know, in vanilla you hold it against one rebellion, and in this you hold it against maybe one or two, actually more 2, 3 probably. So the cost of, you know, being an occupying force or foreign people doesn't really show itself in this. But the way I kind of play it, it's sort of a more role-play-ish way. Obviously, we're gonna take some areas that France, you know, didn't hold, because we're trying to, you know, do what if France became the major, or like stayed the major power, and Britain didn't get his colonial empire, and the French basically kept certain areas and so on. But yeah, we've done 2 battles. I've talked enough crap, so it's high time to end it. As it is now, I'll probably continue playing kind of off camera, getting a lot of stuff ready for what comes next, which could be India. But I'm thinking the British are gonna declare war on us again pretty darn soon. But hopefully I'll be very much prepared for when that day comes. With that said, it's high time to end the episode. So with everything that I've said so far, I'll say, as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.